Either God here coming to you live and direct with another video. And I want to talk about some stuff that I had on my chest, some questions that I wanted to discuss with the people. Um, a lot of people be like, the goal isn't to come together, you know. But I want to ask, like, okay, what are we supposed to do then? Because the only reason that the system exists is because these opposing forces, they came together to divide us so they can create a system that allows them to thrive. So essentially they came together to knock us apart. You see what I'm saying? So like what else are we supposed to do? We just supposed to keep living how we're living when actually we're not even living, we're actually dying. But that's a different story. Like I was having a conversation with my homeboy. He was like, eventually they gonna stop producing a certain type of car. They gonna stop producing gas cars and start creating electric cars, right? And cause he was talking about how there's a lot of pollution going on, you know, with these nuclear power plants and stuff that they created that didn't have to be created. They created the pollution have so they can create the problem and then give us a solution. Because of, you know, we have so many explosions going on, we can fix that. We gonna start giving y'all electric cars, electric and solar technologies. When we didn't need none of that stuff in the first place. We didn't need none of that gas powered nothing in the first place. Like I said in multiple videos, they create the problems and then give us the solutions to where we constantly need them. And I keep telling him, as well as a lot of other people, this system will not last. And he doesn't want it to last, but at the same time, I guess he thinks some of these technologies that are going to be coming out are going to benefit us in some way. And like I keep telling him, as well as a lot of other people, how is an electric car or a solar powered car going to benefit us if we're just going to use this invention to just go to work every day? Keep feeding the matrix. What's the point of this electric car if we're not going nowhere? What's the point of this solar powered car if we're not going nowhere? So if we have a solar powered car, you mean telling me we not gonna try to get out the gate that they got us trapped in? We not gonna try to go places they say we're prohibited to go with this solar powered car? Because with a solar powered car, you won't even have to worry about gas. You can pretty much go anywhere. You pretty much can just start going on high speed chases then, since you got solar cars. You see what I'm saying? So I feel like if they come out with solar powered cars and stuff like that, they just gonna tighten down on the laws, like the driving laws and stuff like that. If the police even stay in position, you know, even, you know, it was something else I had to talk about. Yeah, like the only reason the system is gonna stay up and running is because we're gonna stay up accepting their BS. That's the only way the system just can keep going. With how I'm seeing it, as long as we keep dying and keep coming back here, feeding their system, then yeah, it can last forever. But when is it gonna be a point in time to where we realize we have to come together so we can create our own systems and to not you know, follow their system, their corrupt system and stuff like that. And like I said before, why do they have to kill, create war, create illnesses just so they can implement a new system, another world order? Why do they have to tell us because we have so many explosions we're gonna create an electric car? Why they just can't drop the electric cars? Why they can't just release all of this technology at once? And then a lot of people will tell me, well, a lot of people ain't mentally ready to accept a lot of the things that has been going on. Well, how come? Why did they have to lie to us for so long to where y'all feel like people are scared to accept certain truths and certain so-called advanced technologies? So yeah, that's why I keep saying we need to come together, because let's say we just keep coming back here. We keep coming back to Earth because we're Earthlings. Because, you know, you have to have an Earth suit to come into this realm. Let's say we keep coming back. So if we keep coming back to this planet, going through the same type of slavery, you know, then what's going to be our solution? What other solution do we have other than coming together and getting these beasts out of this realm? What other solution do we have? He also, my homeboy at work, he, you know, we talk a lot. You know, I try to gain different insights from him. He's aware, you know, he's aware of what's going on. And he was like, he brought up a good point where, like, the end game happens when you die. Because when you die, that's when the system ends. You don't have to deal with their mess no more. But then I was like, okay, I die. Well, what if I reincarnate or reincarcerate back to this planet? Then I have to grow up through another era or another form of slavery here, because nobody came together. I have to go through the infant stages again, because people keep saying that the goal is not to come together. Like, I don't get it. Another, you know, thing that people fail to realize is that an employee is the same thing as a slave. An employee is the same thing as a slave. And I was thinking like, I was at work and I was like, I was finna try to be funny, like, cause you know my managers and stuff like that, they always, well, I feel like, well, yeah, they always you know, being extra, coming up with all these different types of rules, especially with what's going on now. I be want to say, I wonder what they was, how would they react if I just say, okay, master. Then they gonna be like, okay, don't call me master, or they might take it serious and try to write me up for saying master. And I'm like, what's the difference between, you know, slave master and a boss man? You see what I'm saying? See how they got us, how they got our minds? Like, the slave master and boss man is the same thing. But instead of us saying slave master or master, they prefer boss man or yes sir, because yes sir and boss man is more accepting to the ear, at least now, due to programming. It's more acceptable than master, because master is not a part of master is not a part of that this era anymore. Even though it's the same thing, you see what I'm saying? Like, but they had to transition the minds so we can accept a different identity, I guess you could say. And what I mean by that, employee, slave. Instead of them calling you slaves, they just say employee. Employee is more fit to our mental capacity now. He's my employee, aka he's my slave, or she's my slave. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, I just wanted to talk about that. I get that one day I have to leave this earth suit, this planet or whatever, but let's say I come back. Let's say I come back because I didn't fulfill my mission or even coming here in the first place. Then I have to deal with what's continuing to happen, all because we didn't come together and create better systems than what's in place now. Like I said, these beings, they have to get off this planet. But a lot of things are coming to the forefront and being exposed. I'm happy about that. But more has to come to the forefront so the sheep can see what's going on. Because a lot of the sheep, they don't listen to what we listen to. They don't listen to the videos that we listen to. And all they do is just call people like myself conspiracy theorists. So they still lost in the sauce. They still in La La Land. Reminds me of that scene from Percy Jackson. One of those movies where the friends, they were on a mission and they went into Las Vegas. I think I did a video on that. I will be doing more movie breakdowns and how I perceive certain messages in these movies, but they always want to hit me with a copyright claim and stuff like that. That's the only reason. And I don't know how to override that. If I knew how to override like movies saying that I'm copyright claim, but I have a whole lot of movie scenes on here with the sound explaining, like showing y'all how I see how I perceive what's going on in these movies, what they showing us and stuff like that. Like in the movie what's that movie TV show Moon Knight. I want to do a breakdown on that. And The Man Who Fell to Earth. That's a good little TV show that I want to talk about as well. But yeah, a lot of these fires are going on, and I wonder why. I wonder if it's man doing this or is it nature. And if I want it to be nature. A lot of people say it's nature, but these people, they still creating lostness and different worlds for us to participate in or get lost in. They're keeping us lost in these different worlds, these loops. So it makes us harder to escape. So yeah, again, like I said, how is these new technologies gonna benefit us? Here they trying to, man, at my job, when I first got there, it's so old school, right? It's so old school, outdated, that these beings, they now decided to upgrade years later. We now have the capability of video camming, you know, webcamming with the boss now because of technology. How is that benefiting us? Now, just yesterday, a Korean woman or an Asian woman came in discussing with my boss man, who is a quote unquote black man. I have three. Actually have three bosses. Two are so-called black and one is so-called white. You know, but the point of me saying that is how is this camera that they gonna this camera system that they call themselves trying to implement, how is that gonna benefit us? That just allows them to surveil us more. And I just don't get it. Like, oh yeah, that's another thing. These beings are so good at making us think that we're safe. They come in, they bombard us, they conquer us, create a danger, and then say we can make you safe. You know, that just like I heard a situation of how they do these natural beings, these tribal members that be out in nature. They be okay until these so-called white men intrude upon them, their tribe, like in the movie Avatar, and they intrude upon them, create a danger, and then say to the tribal members, "We can keep you safe. We can watch you. We can provide militant protection and stuff like that." And then the tribal members, they'll half of them will fall for it. Damn so-called white men build a border around the people, the tribal members, using their knowledge against us, stealing their knowledge, their ability to like you might have some tribal members who are well skilled in like medicines and stuff like that. In the so-called white man, they'll send some troops and stuff like that over there to intrude upon them, steal their information on how to naturally heal people with certain medicines, and they'll steal that knowledge and reverse it to create illnesses and stuff like that. Hopefully y'all get what I mean by that or whatever. You know. So yeah, I'm just, talking about what's been on my mind. And yeah, like, it's crazy. I just want to know, like, when is going to be our breaking point. Because I know I've hit my breaking point and I'm tired. Like, I'm mentally exhausted with this world. Because no matter how much I'm aware of what's going on, people around me are still asleep. You know, if I could just get my own piece of land and not be governed by these people, not have to pay nothing, not a dime, not have to dodge them and stuff like that, I would be okay. But instead, because majority rules, because we willingly accepted the terms and conditions of this system, you damn near have no choice but to accept it right along with them. Because majority chose to say, okay, you have to pay this property tax in order to keep it. Okay, so now I have to pay property tax because my fellow earthlings decided to pay this property tax. You see what I'm saying? So, like, when is enough gonna be enough? You know, a lot of these fires happening, you know, there's a lot of claims that these beings are gonna be burnt out of existence. You know, I hope so. because this is ridiculous how we have yet to come together to override this corrupt system. And now, because of this corrupt system, you have so many people who are in fear and don't want to let it go. Like how? Like, how did they create this mental shackle, this universal mental shackle amongst these people's minds, that they don't even want to let it go? If you even try to spark a conversation about, coming together, aliens, and, what's going on in the world, they'll want to bring up religion and, all of these different avenues of programming, because they've accepted that program. Of course, I'm one of the few that have broken, most of those programs. But majority still has these programs embedded in their system, and it's hard for them to let it go. So yeah, that's pretty much it that I wanted to talk about for right now. I probably got some more on my mind, but can't think of it right now. So I see y'all on the next video. Talking about something. I'm about to get my day started. Go out here in the garden, set up some stuff. But yeah, E2God signing out. Like, share, and subscribe. Peace.